You might think you know what you want, but a tiny, invisible organism can rewrite your deepest desires. We walk around with a persistent illusion. We feel like there is a conscious captain inside our heads, gripping the steering wheel, making all the decisions about who we love, what we eat, and how we act. Beneath that feeling is a wet, chemical electrical network running on autopilot. Most of our operations happen far below the security clearance of our conscious mind. We are biological machines. Because we are driven by bottom-up chemical systems, our agency is incredibly vulnerable to a hostile takeover. To see how easily that agency is bypassed, look at the rabies virus. After a bite from an infected mammal, this bullet-shaped virus avoids floating passively in the bloodstream. Instead, it physically climbs up the host's nerve pathways, inching its way directly toward the brain. It enters the temporal lobe. Here, it ingratiates itself into the local neurons, hijacking the very circuitry that regulates fear and aggression. By altering local electrical patterns, the virus induces extreme aggression and rage, building an overwhelming compulsion to bite anything nearby. The virus has moved into the salivary glands and is now steering the host's behavior to ensure its own spread. The host's internal goals have been replaced by the reproductive needs of a microscopic invader. The rabies virus measures 75 billionths of a meter, yet commands a body 25 million times larger. It's equivalent to a human finding a creature 28,000 miles tall and bending its mind to their will. Physical size offers no protection against chemical override. If invisible chemistry can hijack a massive host so easily, we have to ask if the brain has any built-in defense against its own biology. Resisting these deep-seated chemical programs requires engaging the biological mechanism that allows the system to edit its own hardware. This self-editing capacity is known as neuroplasticity. The brain is a self-configuring organ that physically rewires its own circuits in response to experience. You don't need invasive surgery or experimental drugs to trigger this rewiring. The catalyst can be abstract thought. When a person focuses intensely on a memory or cognitive exercise, they physically redirect blood flow within their skull. This targets the prefrontal cortex. Over time, targeted mental activity physically alters the cellular structure and mass of that area. The brain literally reorganizes its internal maps. It takes traumatic or automated responses and retranscribes the neural wetware so the person regains control. Focused abstract thought exerts a real physical anatomical force, completely re-engineering the biological machine from the top down. This chart shows the permanent biological war happening inside you right now. Upward arrows representing chemical determinism, colliding directly with downward arrows representing conscious thought. Every action you take, conscious or unconscious, down to what you focus on and what you ignore, tips the balance of power in this anatomical battleground. Scrolling past videos like this means losing access to critical biological survival data. Subscribe to keep your mind sharp against the algorithm. Your internal reality is held together by an incredibly fragile, high-stakes balance. If you do not actively engage your neuroplastic capacity to wire your own brain, you are little more than a meat puppet, piloted by organisms you cannot even see.